sin. "Is that a horse in the lane?" Meg pushed open the window. Any distraction was welcome. From high in the eaves of Martin's Dean's vicarage, the old schoolroom had a clear view down to the church and the village green. "Oh, don't!" Half lying across the sill, Meg ignored the nervous plea from Selina. "You know how angry Papa was last time he saw us hanging out of the window, like common hoydens, he said." "It is James." How very strange she felt inside. Was it love? It must be. "He's come home at last, and he's in regimentals. He has joined the army as he said he would, despite Mr. Hallgate forbidding it. Oh, but he looks so handsome. Bella, don't you think he looks handsome?" "James Hallgate may look like Adonis," Arabella countered. Bella's common sense was as predictable as Lena's nervousness. Meg glanced back into the room. "And he might be a very pleasant and well-bred young man," her sister continued. "But you know Papa would never let him call. And I shudder to think what would happen if you tried to get out to see James again. Remember, before he went away, Papa had you locked in the attic for a week on bread and water. Really, Meg—" Meg leaned out precariously and waved. "He must see me!" Selina joined Meg at the window. "Look at him!" Lena's pretty mouth curled into a smile, but she glanced over her shoulder at the door before agreeing. "Oh, yes, he does look very fine. The Squire is going to be so proud of him. Surely he will forgive him for going off enjoying himself in London for almost a year." "He has seen me," Meg whispered. Something inside her contracted, as though her heart had faltered for a moment. All those long nights dreaming about her childhood sweetheart, and now here he was, and she still felt as she had when he had left. She was in love with him, she knew she was, and the fields of buttercups still stretched out in the sunlight where they had run hand in hand and exchanged soft, innocent kisses. Although, perhaps, in retrospect, James's had not been so very innocent. Even as he reined in, taking advantage of the tall hedge to doff his shako and wave it to the two young women in the window, he was casting a careful eye around. Everyone in Martin's Dean knew the Reverend Shelley's views on the upbringing of girls, and how closely he guarded his 3 motherless daughters. "Now what is he doing?" Selina wondered, as James made gestures towards the stream that ran on the other side of the lane. "He means to leave a message in the old willow, just like we used to do before he went away." Meg clutched her hands to her bosom, although it did not stop her heart thumping. "He means to meet me." It was just like the fairy stories. Her knight in shining armour had come for her. He would scale the castle walls, cut through the hedge of thorns that surrounded her, carry her off to a lifetime of happy ever after. Meg watched as the bay mare walked on down the lane and out of sight. Then there was nothing to do but go back to the table. She kicked the mending basket out of sight. "Oh, Meg, do you truly still feel affection for him?" Arabella asked. Her expression the familiar one of mingled sympathy and exasperation. "You know Papa will whip you if he finds out." "I don't care." Meg sank down on her chair, perilously close to tears again. It was not the thought of the switch. It hurt and was humiliating, but she went away in her head while she was beaten or lectured, off into her imagination. If he would only treat us with some trust, then I would not have to sneak out. I am 18, I know my own mind, and I love James. I always have. We are meant to be together. I love James and he loves me, so where is the sin in that? What was so wrong with love that it was classed with crimes like theft or murder? She had asked that once, when she was 15, and had hardly been able to sit down for a week. "Only in the defiance of Papa's authority," Bella said with a thoughtful frown. "Otherwise it is a perfectly eligible match, I am sure. For anyone else. Lena, would you be very kind and go and ask Cook if we might have some lemonade?" There was something in Bella's placid tone.